Police in Commerce City investigating reports of animal and child abuse described those living conditions as the worst they had seen. Last fall, more than 24 animals and 3 children were removed from that home. Demetrio Urbina was arrested and charged with more than 24 counts of animal cruelty. A plea deal led to 6 months of community corrections and 120 days in jail. Your investigator, Karen Morfitt, covered this story when it happened a year ago. Well, now she has an update with a clearer picture of what was going on inside that home, and we should warn you, some of the pictures may be upsetting.
For the first time, court photos show the inside of a Commerce City home where police found 3 children, 31 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 guinea pigs living in what they call deplorable conditions. The discovery last fall was made after the 911 calls of several worried neighbors.
I just hear my neighbors yelling and someone is trying to revive someone.
It looks like they're trying to maybe do CPR on the dog on their front porch.
Police would find the body of a dog in the trash can. Demetrio Urbina was arrested and charged with dozens of counts of animal cruelty, child abuse, unauthorized practice of veterinary medicine for performing surgery on the dogs, and multiple weapons offenses, accused of 3D printing guns. You can see that printer in this evidence photo. A neighbor who asked not to be identified says homeowners surrounding that property had been reporting concerns to state and local authorities for nearly a decade.
I've known about it for 9 years, that people have said when they moved in, and they said it's been going on, and then it just got worse and worse.
That isn't an exaggeration. A CBS Colorado Records request shows Colorado's Pet Animal Care Facilities Act program, or PACFA, received a tip about Urbina in 2022. While looking into that complaint, investigators discovered he'd been on their radar before, pointing to a 2018 voicemail sent through Crime Stoppers. The tipster reported a home in the neighborhood operating as a pit bull puppy mill, describing a horrible smell coming from the property and claiming a 2- or 3-year-old child was living there. It's unclear what, if anything, was done in 2018, but PACFA Section Chief Nick Fisher says investigators did look into Urbina in 2022.
I think what we kind of grappled with to begin with was trying to prove, so we obviously have to have some probable cause to be able to enforce what we can enforce, right?
Using social media, investigators spent months gathering evidence they say showed Urbina was breeding more than 2 litters a year without a license, which is a violation of state regulations. The result? PACFA issued a cease and desist order. He was investigated again in 2023 and 2024.
After all of these complaints, you guys have been monitoring him, it seems like, for several years. What does it take to stop someone who's operating like this?
It's like we're just enforcing the regulatory part of it. I can't enforce animal control or the animal cruelty or the animal welfare part of it. That's not within PACFA. That's not within our jurisdiction or our responsibility to do that. So we have to refer those to animal control, which we're staff.
PACFA reports show animal control did visit the home in 2022. They issued a ticket for exceeding the maximum number of household pets and cleanliness of enclosures. They say despite numerous visits, it would be 3 years before they were allowed back inside.
I think it's crazy.
The 911 call about the injured dog finally giving investigators probable cause to enter and make arrests.
They thought that it had been resolved.
Demetrio Urbina was allowed to plead guilty to 1 count of possessing an unserialized firearm, 1 count of unauthorized practice of veterinary medicine, and 1 count of animal cruelty. Combined with another felony case, a judge sentenced him to 120 days in jail and 6 months of community corrections. Neighbors say troubling signs have returned.
About a month or so ago, they were telling me about that it smelled down there again. Other neighbors were complaining that there was dogs barking from that house. How much more do we have to take before the system is going to help?
Your investigator, Karen Morfitt, joining me now. And Karen, neighbors clearly and understandably frustrated by this situation.
Yeah, and frustrated with the outcome of that criminal case. As part of the plea deal,
As part of that, more than 24 animal cruelty counts, the child abuse charges, and a felony for having a weapon were all dismissed. Those neighbors worried that the same activity could just start up again if, that wasn't enough of a deterrent.
Yeah, certainly sad to see those animals in that condition.
Yeah.
Karen, thank you.